What is up, witches? It's Tuesday. It's a good day to arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. Never been so proud of sports in all of my life. Literally. Alright, let's get to the witchy shit. Burning my sage. PNW Priestess MareLin on here. It's been a beat. Hi.
Cricket. There we go. That's okay. Are you okay today?
I mean, yes.
You're like, what's the definition of okay? I don't
That's
know.
what was I'm like, we're spinning through the universe, tiny rock, hurtling through space.
Yes, with light coming towards us.
Everything's amazing. What is it like? It took 3,000 ancestors for me to get here, for you to get here.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hello, everyone.
How was your birthday, babe?
It was, I'm 42.
You're still a baby.
Me and my husband went and bought a water heater.
Hey, the gift of a hot shower is priceless.
Yeah, well, so it hasn't gone out yet, but during Mercury retrograde in Pisces in February, our dishwasher went tits up.
Right.
Okay. Then during when Mercury went retrograde in Cancer, my water heater, the pilot light kept just going out randomly, and then had like this small weird leak. And then it kind of was like, hey, I'm all right. It's fine. But, Mercury retrograde's coming in Scorpio and Libra. And I'm like, we're replacing it. It's old. So I'm not waiting for it to be an emergency, which is a very adult thing to do.
Oh my God, it really is. I'm very proud of you for your responsibleness.
I know. So we have a friend who's dear enough. He's going to come and install it for us. And
nice.
Yeah.
You see this cup?
It's beautiful.
This is what my coffee is in today. It's huge.
Yeah.
I'm on my second one.
Someone's about to get a bunch of shit done today.
Girl, I'm upstairs with my kids until 3:00 doing online schooling. So
they're in school already?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they started on Monday. Yeah. So yesterday was a really good day. Everything worked very well. No outages, no Zoom issues, no nothing like that. It was really great.
Nice.
And then today, my little dude should be in his 5th period Zoom class right now. I'm trying to make myself presentable.
And I just sprayed in a bunch of dry shampoo. I don't know if it made me presentable, but I'm feeling it.
And so he should be in his 5th period right now. And then 6th, and then I'll do lunch for the kids. And then I'm doing a live ritual tonight on my Facebook group. So I have to write that.
Yes. That'll come to you. Yeah. I realize you get to a certain point where you do these things and they're better when they're in the moment.
Exactly.
You can think it over and fucking, but then like, it just is like in timing. It's like, this is what you say. And it just, I don't know. I guess probably it's not always like that, but that's how I feel like it comes.
That's been my experience the past couple of times, actually, because I get into this, I got to do this. And then I sit down and I'm like, you know what? Here's just some touch points that I want to go through. And I'll just, because if I don't at least write down the touch points, fucking gone. And
yeah. No, you definitely need touch points.
And so then I have gone with it, and it's, they're never the same. And that is what is so fabulous about it. Yes. And Pisces moon has already sent me a whole bunch of energy and a whole bunch of information downloads. So Yeah.
caffeinated forms.
That's right.
No, this morning, I mean, last night I started feeling it. I was already, the moon shifted into Pisces, or it will shift into Pisces sometime this morning, I think.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, like yesterday's moon was really, it was already starting to be kind of emotional. So
Dude,
I'm sure I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. Yesterday, my heart was palpitating all day. Like, you talk about a ball of anxiety and nervous energy, that was me all day long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I sleep until 1 a.m. And
I was up till almost 2.
Yeah, and then I woke up at 6. Hence the 2 big cups of
Yeah, and you're like, give me more.
I don't think I woke up at 6 a.m. in a very long time.
Well, my kids start school next Wednesday, so we're getting ready for that. But my daughter, I've just been letting her like lay in bed and watch shows like till an ungodly time for an 7-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I know it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so funny because I didn't expect this moon to make me want to dive so deep, but it's almost like this moon for me is all about the shadow, girl. It is. Yeah. I'm already there. I'm already in hermit mode, and I'm working on the shadow, and I go into my second house on the 3rd.
Okay.
So, about the stuff. Yeah.
I think it's interesting to even look at the whole quarter, this quadrant that you're in, that first quadrant, which I just left. Mm-hmm. Now I'm in my second quadrant, and the energy palpably shifted to from the me and what's going on with me to what the fuck is wrong with everyone else. Like, and I have been so, and I just realized that just now. It was like, oh yeah, because Heritage Day for me was the 19th. Right. Mm-hmm. And since that day, there's been, I've really felt, and I don't know, like things like the Virgo stuff anyways, which is, the house, the order, the lists, the things I feel urgently need to get done in order. Like, I mean, Virgo season is that fastidiousness that gets us towards winter. It's like the squirreling away time. Yes, so you start to feel this urgency anyways. And that is where, that's where my son is. I'm in my 4th house. So it's like home. So I start to really get agitated around extra shit around my house. And, it's easy to blame on other people. So my birthday was great until I literally lost my shit on my family about all the things that are in our house. And I did a very terrible job of expressing my needs. And so now I'm filled with a little bit of regret this morning around that, and then just also holding space for my humanness. So it's fine. But I realize
it's so funny that you mentioned that, because to me, this moon, it's not just about shadow, it is about communication. Yeah. And even though, it's Pisces moon, for some reason, that air element keeps coming in for me. And it's like, wait a minute, what about loving communication? You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, and, with the moon having been in Aquarius yesterday, that makes sense. Like that there was a lot of mental energy into, and so I'm curious. Yeah. The full moon in Pisces always comes the day after, right? That the moon was in Aquarius, and just thinking about that relationship. That the moon passes through that airy, clear-minded, really clear thinking, clarity, like I see the truth, swords energy.
Right.
And then leads into this very feeling, sensing, spiritually, the opposite. What's the opposite of grounding?
Oh God.
Right? Like it's not
Yeah.
grounded, it's spiritually lifted, it's
Right.
spiritually built.
It's it seems to me like it's like because of the air energy coming in and saying, hey, here's your swords, here's your truth, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
and then water coming in, it's almost like the swords are saying, look, dumbass,
yeah,
this
floating.
is what you've been doing, and
Yeah.
now you need to start doing this. And it's funny that you talk about the whole squirrel energy, because it's almost like I can't get into the earth and shadow fast enough.
Right. I know. Yeah, like I'm like, gather all my nuts, gather all my nuts, gather all my nuts. We got to go down, 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 down,
That
down.
is
I totally
exactly.
feel that. Yes. No, that's exactly. And so
Oh, I got
there is
goosebumps.
this
It's her.
intense, yeah, it's a very swirling energy, and the hermit is calling.
Yes.
And yeah, and it's just like, go, and yeah.
Now, let me ask you. Now, Hermit is our tarot card. Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The Hermit is calling, and that deep cave in Mother Earth is calling, and it's calling us to get in there really fucking quick, right? Now, part of me is wondering, why are you calling me in there so fast? What the fuck is going to happen out here that you're trying to save me or protect me? What is going on, you know? And so with this Pisces moon too, feeding into that intuition, I'm going into my second house, so myself, but the Pisces moon sits on the cusp of my seventh and eighth. So partnership and partnership.
Ah,
So it's almost like, okay, what's going to be happening? Are Aaron and I, are my babe and I going to have some words? Like, what the fuck is going to be happening here? You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
so, Shadow's like, oh my God, go hide. Get the fuck
Yeah.
to the ground and go hide.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and yeah, I'm getting that more than I had. I mean, I've never, I mean, again, I've really dug into the lab work and where all this is happening for me, but in general too, like, what is it? I was just, I'm about to drop the Virgo content for the lab, and it's like, so I've been digging in, what does Mercury look like in the sign of Virgo versus the Gemini, which, by the way, like, I have a Gemini rising, my sun is in Virgo. So
Yeah.
there's this
And
conversation
Mercury
between
sees
these.
both.
Yeah, Mercury rules both of these signs, and so what's the difference? And it really is, Mercury in Virgo is this feminine, side of Mercury, and it's receptive, and it has I just wrote a bunch of really elegant shit, but now I'm gonna verbally vomit it. But it's like, there's this definite shift of how it relates to the physical space.
Yes.
And then of course Pisces feeds into this, because Pisces is that it's devotion, it's spiritual vision, it's dream
It's imagining
world.
dream work
It's
and
the imagined.
yes.
Right. And we imagine our shadows, we imagine our best, we imagine ourselves, right? We're imagining ourselves right now. And we don't, it's like, I can put things into the world, and I can act upon the world, and I can create things that are real. That's Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
And Mercury has a lot to say about that, right? But Pisces
Right.
just feels what that experience is like.
Right. Right.
And Pisces just wants to really feel and be an experience of this. And that's where I think we kind of it's like, oh, it gets a little muddy.
Well,
Right.
and then you have the Aquarius. Then you have that air still at play, right?
Yes, because
So it's I believe that it's really talking about, hey, it's really time to dig deep. It's really time to go under. But it's also really time to have a very, very honest communication, not for me, not only with myself, but with my husband as well, about things, because it's in the seventh and eighth and second. So to me, it seems like Mercury, the air, the water, all that shit coming into play is saying, okay, you really need to get down to the dirty with you.
Yeah.
And you need to figure out some secrets, you know, you need to dive really fucking deep and figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's why shadow is calling me so quickly, is because evidently I've got some fucking work I need to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if my behavior yesterday is any indication of like how I'm doing, you know, I mean, I snapped, you know. And meanwhile, I'm getting all these beautiful, amazing like birthday wishes from people. And the day did start, like I woke up, I took the garbage out, I did yoga, like I really started the day strong, did all the things that support me in being. And then just the clarity of what came through of what I needed to do, and then feeling overwhelmed by all the work I have to do before I feel okay, whatever that means, like, which is a whole weird thing to say. For me, this whole transit, like, it's my 9th, 10th house. And the full moon's happening in my 10th house.
It seems like it went by so fast, Jen.
I know.
I remember just talking about, you know, the resurrection day with you.
Oh, no. So this is the moon. The moon.
Oh, okay. What?
Yeah,
How did that go by so fast?
I know, you're like, what? The sun is in my 4th house, right? So this full moon is across the way in my 10th house.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
So that's where that's happening for me. My fourth house is pruning and weeding, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm like, where do I need to edit out? I'm like definitely being very, it's like I need to edit. I'm in the editing phase.
What about thinking about it this way? What about being so much on that teeter-totter? Maybe the message for you is, hey, there needs to be this balance. And for you, the balance is editing some of that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that we need to do is our boundaries, right? Like,
well, that's that me deciding ahead of time. I do this, I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like one of my favorite teachers, coaches, she's like, you think that like choice ahead of time is limiting, right? Like when we think about this as like, I'm going to eat well, I'm going to do whatever, like, right? And by the way, Virgo season, we're all like, I should start exercising and eating good, because that's a message of Virgo season. Yeah. Like I need to get that, you know, I need to moisturize, and I need to make sure that I'm using SPF 80 and like, you know, whatever. So, you know, Virgo does this, right? Like, what about my knees when I'm older? I need to start,
girl,
you know, anyway, so there's that. But what my coach says is like, she's like, listen, there's a lot of things that you think, like your mind wants to tell you they're limiting, like to make the decision to not do something as opposed to doing something. It's just like, commitment zeroes in and focuses your life. It creates a container. So when you say, I'm married to this person, it focuses you, and you stop squirreling around like, who am I supposed to be with, right? When you decide, I'm not going to get up and do heroin today, right? Or whatever that is for you. Like she uses the thing heroin. She's like, you've decided a lot of things that are just not on the table. Notice how free that makes you, right? You're not worrying like, should I get heroin today? I don't know. There's so many decisions.
That is actually an amazing way to look at it.
It's like you decide ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You decide ahead of time, like I get up and I do these. It's easier to edit out than it is to bring in sometimes, I think, to start new habits, right? Because it feels like work. But once you do this, once you decide ahead of time, this is what I do, it becomes a little easier. And I think that's also a really beautiful lesson of Virgo season. And especially with me in the house of pruning and weeding, I'm looking for things to edit, to make space for what's coming in so that I can focus on that flowering, you know, the creative growth and the flowering that's coming, you know. And so, and for you, you said you're in your 8th house, right?
No, I'm going into my 2nd house. Or no, I'm going into my 2nd house.
You're going into your 2nd house, but the full moon is across the way.
Yes.
Right. So
it's
axis,
literally right on the cusp of 7 and 8. Literally.
Yeah. There's another woman in the lab who's having a cusp, like a threshold, right? The house threshold, being like the 10 degrees Pisces. And I think that's super cool to consider, like what's that like? And I had 26 degrees Leo was where the new moon happened, and that was my heritage day as well. So like, I want to say like it's uncommon, but it seems very common for those of us who are like experiencing astrology and looking at that. So it's kind of,
yeah, totally.
So
totes.
Well, you guys, so I know Runa's on the call too, and you guys are starting back up your podcast. Has it launched yet, or are you just recording at this point?
It has.
I haven't listened.
It is. We did episode 3 this morning at 7 a.m. And so I've been up since 6. And, you know, so we did episode 3. And not only is it the podcast that is on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, a whole bunch of different, Anchor, a whole bunch of different ones.
Yes.
But, it's also the vlog, basically. I put
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and put it up on YouTube and IGTV, so people can watch it in those different places as well.
Fun. That's fun. So it's Country Dwellers, and go and check it out. It's really cool.
It is. It's a good little podcast.
I'm excited to. I need to go listen again then. So there's episodes that are already up.
Oh, there's season 1, season 2, and now season 3 up there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I've listened to all of season 1 and 2. I was a devoted listener. When you guys stopped, I was like, respecting your decision, but also,
well, thank you.
But also like, oh, so it's very lovely.
Search for Country Dwellers Podcast. That's what it is.
So Brandy, who's on here, which, hi Brandy, I love you. I fucking miss you. Holy shit, I didn't realize that was your podcast. Yes, that's MareLin and Runa, who's also on this live right now.
Yeah.
They do this amazing podcast. So
it's really fun. It's fun. Yeah. And you know, I love doing, not only that, I love doing this with you because it challenges my mind. And for Virgo, for me, you know, with that Mercurial, it really allows me to continue with my personal education as well. And so when that happens, I'm like, okay, this is great because it feeds me. And when my mind goes dormant, I'm lost.
That's you know, Mercury wants us to contemplate. Contemplative practices are definitely this. So to know that Mercury is a personal planet, right? Mercury is in your chart. Whoever you are, you have Mercury in your chart, you have Virgo in your chart, and you have Gemini in your chart. And all of those are kind of like Mercury touch points. So, you know, to say you're not mercurial, or it may not be like a big player in your chart, it's possible. Mm-hmm. But in general, Mercury plays a huge role in how we mentally show up and how we process thoughts and contemplate ideas and everything. And so it's very, very exciting to dig into.
But I want to say that Mercury is actually in my Virgo. It's in my first house.
Yeah.
And so for me, especially that first house being really about, hey, you know, I got the Leo ascending, but with Virgo, with Virgo and Mercury sitting there, I think that's one of the reasons why I find the brain so fucking attractive. Like an intelligent person is fucking hot to me. I'm always into the nerds. Like, bring me the nerds. I love
my Mercury is in Leo, and so like when you show up as like the hot professor, definitely like the philosophical person who's like talking all of the time. Yes, that's an attraction portal for me. Well, and so, you know, it's mine's in the 3rd house it's like conjunct my moon. But yeah, so, you know, we get another chance in the lab too. Like, we're doing another kind of pass over Mercury. So I've added a couple of things for the Virgo side of it, the feminine side of it, but really it's like going over again this kind of mercurial piece of ourselves. You know, because it wants to be needled, it wants to be, and it's interesting.
But it really does want to be seen, and it really has some major information for us that we need to dive deep into and respect. and be authentic with, just be real with, you know. And I think that's what this moon tonight is all about. And it's about that deep dive. It's about allowing yourself to go into yourself and say, hey, I'm scared. This is scary because it's dark and I don't like playing in this realm, but I'm going to jump in anyway because I'm in sacred space and I'm being held, and it's okay, you know.
Yeah, those affirmations of reminding ourselves why we're showing up in this way is like really, really important.
Yes.
And that's what's shifted too about, you know, Virgo season and then the full moon in Pisces, both feminine signs, right? And both mutable signs. So again, they're these edge walkers, these feminine edge walkers that like, this is where, you know, the cliffs meet the air and the beach meets the sea. And like, how does the sand keep moving because of the tides? And that's what, you know, there's nothing more Pisces, Virgo polarity than, say, a beach, you know, the tide, where that, and when the water goes out, all the living things that are exposed, and you know, the contemplation of like what's underneath all this water. When the tide goes out, we can kind of see how it's changed it, and it's going to change every day. And this is how we are. Me too, right? This is me too. This is how I am too.
That's it, girl. That's exactly what I've been feeling, you know, like it's time for this really big shift. I have a feeling that there's going to be some kind of communication with my husband and myself regarding, you know, monies, regarding value, you know, because second house value, how I value myself. And, you know, maybe the balancing of what you do versus what I do, but they're both very important, you know. So let's not value what we do by the money that we make. Let's value what we do by the amazingness that we put into the world.
You know? Like we need there's new value systems emerging for sure. I mean, when we look at the outer planets, the collective planets, all this work that's being done in Capricorn, this is restructuring society and politics and governments. You know, the law and order is all being restructured by these planets that are doing it. And it's happening all in parts of our life too, which are in, you know, in relationship too. But I was, you know, because Neptune's in Pisces as well, you know, this full moon's going to be very close, you know, to, it's very, it's near conjunct Neptune. What if? So
all I can do is laugh about it right now. That's all
I know. It's a lot of dream work, but shadow work, and you're going to go into that. You're going to be pulled into that 12th house energy.
Yep. And you know what? And you are like me a lot of the ways. Like we love our shadow. Like and we love.
I can't wait.
Work on the shadow. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
I'm like, can I put more things under my pillow? Yeah. So like, I know. Laura says she has Mercury in Aquarius in her 12th house.
Oh damn!
Which is like, you're on watch, sister. We got you on watch. It's, you know, that's a lot.
Don't you astral project away now? Don't you do it?
You gotta stay on the earthly plane. There's, you know, so that's wow. So this full moon is going to activate a few things because it's Virgo season, Mercury. The 12th house is ruled by Pisces. So, you know, there's lots of
no matter what it activates, I think the most important thing that we remember is that we're gentle with ourselves, because this is going to activate a lot of shadow. It is going to activate
Pisces does it.
Dark truth. But it's we have to remember to be kind to ourselves and know that, you know what, this is happening because it needs to happen. Don't fight it. Allow it to process. Be kind with yourself. If you stumble, be kind with yourself. You know?
I receive that. Yes.
Good. I receive it too.
Are you ready to pull some cards? You know what's on the bottom of my deck is the High Priestess.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
today I want to use my good tarot. I'm going to play with the good tarot today.
The good tarot. All right, so if you want a card, put it in the question box.
And yes, Laura,
I'll be able to talk to spirits on the
regularly.
I mean, yes.
If you allow your mind to receive that message, you know, I mean, your mind sometimes can, especially with the Aquarius, can be a little bit of all over the place. But if you allow yourself to center and connect and receive like an antenna, then yeah.
I think the shadow of Aquarius is to disconnect mind from body.
Yes.
And the gift of Pisces is to literally just be in the body and experience. So, you do have to find ways to calm the mind. But I recommend Buddhism meditation.
You know, I love my meditation. I absolutely love meditation.
All right, Corey, this full moon is exactly conjunct my natal sun. I'd love a card to shed light on the work I should be doing in ritual tonight. Beautiful. I'm trying to loosen up these cards. I never shuffle them like this, but I really want them to be more flexible.
Don't we want everything to be more flexible?
I was just thinking of that. I was like, gosh, Jenny, that's very fucking... All right, cards. My cards, they've revolted. Okay. All right, Corey. Oh, and I'm burning this candle. It went out, actually, so I should relight it. Here we are, my friend. Me talking to my candle. As one does. I know you all do, so don't.
Yeah. Every time I light mine, I'm like, Goddess, lead my path today. Lead my path.
Yeah. So I've got King of Wands reversed. And I don't always read reversals, but I just want to say that it came up reversed. King of Wands, is this creative maker. Like, he is in charge of his destiny because he sees that vision so clearly. It's this leadership kind of role. So it's almost as though, in terms of ritual and the Pisces, full moon, and it being, I can't remember, right on the conjunct your natal sun. So, you're finding the way that you shine. What's your distinct leadership way, I think? What is the way that you do something that really no one else does? I mean, really get honest about it. I think it's easy for us to play humble or to play small and say, oh, everybody can do that, or everybody's, he's hot. I'd hit that. Nice. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, he's got a lion, so he's in command of his. So, Laura. So Corey, I think really what's coming up is just this sense that you've got to find what's uniquely your vision and your power, and start to define that in real ways. And that's my Virgo sun thinking. But tonight will be more about feeling it, right? Because the feeling, sensing what Pisces really brings forward, I think.
Okay. I got transformation for you, love. So tonight for you, one of the things that I believe that you should work on for your ritual is just allowing it to flow the way that it wants to flow. Instead of you saying, no, that shouldn't happen yet, or no, I don't want that, or wait, I'm scared of that, I'm going to pull back. Just allow it to flow the way that you want to flow. The funny thing is I'm pulling this, transformation card up for you, but I also pulled a oracle card the other day, and it's a moon goddess. And that moon goddess gives the same information that this card gives. And that information is, no matter what you want to happen, what is supposed to happen for your best and highest good is going to happen. Don't fight it, even though it doesn't seem familiar, even though it's not exactly what you might want. Don't fight it. Just allow it to flow, because divine knows best.
Ah, that's beautiful. Runa's asking, is that a baby on your card?
Oh, thank you, Runa. It's absolutely, she's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to say yes.
So, all right. And then Runa put a card question in there. And let's do that before we go back to the questions, because she also said yes, please, pretty soon. And so I want to, and I don't want it to be lost in the, so Runa wants to know, let's drop a bunch of cards. I had a special ancestor visitor on Saturday with a pretty cryptic message. What do I need to interpret? Or rather, did I interpret it honestly? Sorry, I'm burning sage instead of pulling a card right now. This is for your ancestors, Runa. Apparently I just all of a sudden was like, get a fucking piece of sage.
Her ancestors fucking need it, girl.
So I don't know. They like, I don't know. They were like, get it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yes. So the clarity of vision was really intense, and yeah, I think you did see it clearly. So Ace of Swords is new thoughts. So if there were some new things that you'd never thought before and you're like, can that be true? Like, I think that's the way to go. It's going to lead you, like, just, I love this card because it has this something that a lot of these Ace of Swords really doesn't have, which is the spiral staircase. Like noticing, it can be the downward or upward spiral. Like, how do you follow that line of thinking? It's just a really beautiful contemplative card. Very Aquarius.
Yes.
So Aquarius. And yeah, that clarity of vision is going to bring a whole new level of what's happening. So yeah. Okay. I'm using the Light Seer Tarot, by the way.
So I got the Three of Cups in reverse for you. The Three of Water is what it's called in this deck. And, I'm sorry, this is the Three of Earth. I'm sorry, the Three of Pentacles. I read it incorrectly. Sorry, baby. So when the Three of Pentacles comes into play, that is the collaboration card. That is the manifestation card, right? Now, when we're talking about messages from your ancestors and we get that Three of Pentacles in reverse, what that kind of tells me is that I wouldn't be surprised if one of your ancestors splits off and decides to maybe come back, decides to maybe not play in that spiritual realm anymore. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if these messages that you're getting make you feel disconnected to your reality base right now. And if they are doing that, with the card that Jen pulled, maybe allow yourself to think a little bit more expansively and not so negatively. Allow yourself to be uprooted a little bit, because for you, that's your way of thinking. Allow yourself to be uprooted, change your position and how you think. And even though when it's this way, it's like celebration, it's contractual, it's things like that. Maybe make a promise to yourself that it's time to change the negativity in your mind, especially with this moon, and open your mind and allow that positive way of thinking to come in. I think that's it.
I love that. I think that's so lovely. And yeah, like the reversal of the Three of Pentacles is like, it's an internal thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the new thoughts, like letting new creative thoughts come in, clear vision. I love it. Okay. All right. Miss Ortiz, I'd love a card for my torn heart.
Oh, baby girl. I'm sorry.
And the broken heart. And the Pisces full moon is, here for that, right? The Pisces full moon is really, it's soft. And I know it can be really intense for many, but it is a soft healing space. Bruna says, "We." Yeah.
I don't know if you can see these, but I got goosebumps everywhere. I'm freezing right now. And the name Richard just came into mind. So I don't know if anybody on here knows a Richard that may have passed. But you need to know that that person is walking this realm and is looking for you. So, because it just went the fuck through me.
Ah!
Woo! That was
My
cold.
sage just went out. It like,
Shut the fuck up. Are you? You light that baby back up again right now. Richard, this is for you. This is for you, baby. We're lighting some sage, some hallowed smoke coming your way. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Okay.
and Miss Ortiz, I pulled for you the Ace of Cups. Pulling up aces today.
Love.
So this is a beautiful card. It's really that sentiment, you know, torn heart. You know, the heart chakra is called anahata. It's the unstruck chord. It is this place where, you know, it's the only organ in our body that can't get cancer, right? And it beats no matter what, and it heals on its own. It's this strong place that, you know, that continues to go for us. And so, you know, remembering the power of our heart sometimes recognizes that it's the way that it does, right? And feeling into that torn heart, feeling into that really raw feeling. You know, again, we have so many metaphors that we use around heart. You know, you've broken my heart. I have a mended heart. I have an open heart, right? I can't even. If you have one, put it in the chat for Miss Ortiz. But, you know, these things that we say around our heart and the way that we heal it, you know, it's never ever linear. But this Ace of Cups is just saying, like, you're beginning this healing process, and it's going to take the power of your heart, which, by the way, the heart is kind of like, I just had this thought that the heart is like the moon, where even when it's not whole in the sky, it's whole.
Yeah.
And so it's never actually broken in the sense that we might think it is, because it's meant to withstand. It's meant to withstand our humanness and others' humanness. You know, all the broken parts of everything. Our hearts can withstand it. It's very strong. So I'm sending you my heart, love, and this beautiful Ace of Cups.
So I'm going to confirm that with the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups not only talks about release, but the Eight of Cups reminds us that that release is necessary. And the Eight of Cups also says, hey, as you're looking at this release, allow yourself to know that even though this pain exists, that release is exactly what needed to happen. It needed to happen because now focus can be put on the authentic versus the superficial, you know, that outside appearance of being happy or something like that. And now with the Ace of Cups there, now you can concentrate on self-happiness and self-love. And the more you do that, the more you're going to see that heartbreak that you're feeling right now was a release that needed to happen drastically. And it is for your best and highest good. And I'm sending you lots of love, baby.
The other word that I just, when you were talking too, forgiveness.
Yes.
So you might do some kind of, you know, releasing in order to receive forgiveness.
And you know,
right? Pisces are very good at forgiveness.
Yes, and forgiveness is one of the hardest things to do, of course. And also forgiving ourselves is the hardest thing to do. You
Yeah,
know,
that's where you realize you forgive everyone else of all the trespasses, right?
Right?
Notice
But we
even
don't
that famous prayer where you forgive everyone of their trespasses. The moment you realize you forgave everyone but yourself, that's a fucking raw moment, and it makes me think right now even I need to go make the list.
Yes.
Which is my Virgo self, but there's the list of things I haven't forgiven myself for, and that's why I'm triggered. That's why my heart breaks.
Make that list and burn it tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Tonight
That's what I'm gonna do.
You know,
Thank
and
you.
get yourself some water tonight, everybody, with rose quartz, clear quartz, watermelon tourmaline, heart healing things, you know, black obsidian, to take you nice and deep into that earth so you can dive really deep. You know, there are so many different options for tonight, but just release that heartbreak, babe. Release that heartbreak, because that heartbreak right now is what is for your best and highest good. And you will understand at a different time that instead of loving outward, now you can love and grow inward more authentically.
Yes. Beautiful. I hope that you heard that message, Miss Ortiz. I hope that you heard that. She says she lost us for a second. Okay.
It'll be on the playback.
Right. Moon Goddess Mama, what do I need to hear to help activate my willpower?
Hey, Moon Goddess Mama, I want to tell you, I love all of your little memes that you put on. They're fucking fabulous. I love it.
Moon Goddess is in the lab too. She's in the lab.
What do I need to hear to help activate my willpower?
Activating willpower.
Oh, fuck.
Let's get into the Fool. The Fool. So the Fool is the divine yes. The Fool is the I will take the risk. The Fool is I will. It's almost like the Fool says, like, I believe that something's possible, even though it's never, ever happened before.
I love the Fool. I love the Fool.
So this is what it takes. It takes believing that just because it's never happened is literally the worst reason to not believe that something's possible.
You bet.
Because like, if we believed that, toddlers, we'd give up on them when they're like, well, you've never walked before. Why could we expect you to walk?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they sit there and they do their squats and they work on their core for a while, and then all of a sudden they're fucking walking.
Yep.
And it's never ever happened before. So think like a child. Think about what it's like to begin something in its true earnesty and take little steps as little wins. That's how that's how you'll activate your willpower, little bits at a time, saying yes to the possibility of something new being true.
Okay, wait till you see what I have. Ready?
I'm ready.
The Hermit in reverse. The Hermit in reverse, especially with the Fool card, is saying, you've been hiding out fucking long enough, and now it's time for you to take the leap off of the mountain, show your goddamn self, and not only believe in the unseen and unknown, but fucking believe in yourself. You're no more hiding. No more hiding because you may think that this may not be perfect, or you may not have enough education. And this fucking authenticity is not about reading every book and gaining every bit of education. Authenticity is about just being. It's about fucking being here, being in your personal self. So take that Fool card, take that Hermit card, go stand outside, allow that sun to shine down on you today, and walk your path with bright. Believe in yourself.
Yes. Say yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Ashley. My internet cut out as soon as you started talking about release. So, forgiveness was the message.
Yes. Forgiveness and
forgiveness of self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And allowing that heart to heal and knowing that you have the ability to do it. You go, Moon Goddess. You go.
Yeah, you go. Love you. Love you. Okay. Laura, our personal attorney at Laws. I don't know what I want, but I want it right now. All right. This one fucking popped out. Knight of Pentacles.
Whoa.
Okay, listen. Knight of Pentacles is, knights are all about the action. They go and do, and they do not wait for all the information. They don't wait for the right timing. They just do their thing. The Knight of Pentacles is the dude everyone knew a Knight of Pentacles in college because he was like, let's go camping. I don't have any equipment. We don't need food. We've got some beer and a peach. Let's go right now, and everything's going to be great. Like, why wouldn't we be fine? Why would not we be fine? That's that guy. So Chad wants you to know that you should just take what you've got and really go for it, because there's really no getting ready or planning or everything being perfect. Mm-hmm. You have everything you need, and literally it's dropping out of your ass. Look at all these pentacles he's leaving in his wake. Get it.
All right, I'm going to confirm that again. So this is the 10 of water, which is the 10 of cups, and it's in reverse. And so what that is saying is, hey, first of all, your ideals of perfection are fucking crazy, okay? And secondly, stop waiting around for this perfection to come into play and allow yourself just to be happy. You have that happiness and joy in your fingertips, but for some reason looking over towards somebody else's lawn still. So allow yourself to be that Knight of Pentacles and know that you have this amazingness. And that was a 9 of Pentacles too. So that's a fucking abundance right there.
Yeah. You've got it.
It's there. Stop looking for it. Stop looking outward. Make sure you look inward, because it's in there, and you are the one that's in charge of it.
It's falling out of your ass, Laura. I'm gonna make a meme of that. We're gonna everyone make a meme of it's falling out of your ass, Laura. Or grab a peach and a rack of beer and do it. That's
only a half a tank of gas. That's all we need.
We're gonna, you know how when they lit the oil and it burned for 8 days, they had 1 day of oil. 1 day. What are you doing?
Oh shit.
Okay. Love you, Laura. Okay. Stephananda. We have like 6 minutes. We gotta
and then I gotta
roll. We got quite a few questions. So Stephananda, card for what I need to hear right now. Thank you, goddesses.
That one fell out.
I know you can handle that, Laura.
Hi, baby. Are you done with your first 3 classes? So 4, 5, 6? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 10:55. I go on my next one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what's the next one gonna be?
It's down on, I think it's PE. Right. That would be your 6th period. That's PE. Okay.
Yeah. That never happens. It's always my kid that comes on screen. I was like, ooh, this is real. So, Stephananda, what's happening? Are you torturing yourself for something you can't fix? Okay, so if there's been some kind of something, you gotta, give it up to the moon. I can't wait to see what Christina pulls, because 3 of Swords is tough stuff. So if it's old stories, it's definitely one of those things that it's, this is the card of betrayal and loss and kind of like cutting thoughts, a lot of thoughts. What did you get?
I got the Fool in reverse.
In reverse.
So not only are you, you're really holding on to this stuff. You are choosing choosing not to forgive, choosing not to heal, choosing to stay in that space of hurt, which sometimes that mourning needs to happen, because sometimes that hurt can lead to anger, which if used in a positive way can be that fire that sparks you forward into, you know what, fuck you, I'm going to do this my goddamn self, you know?
Right. But if you're holding on to that resentment, holding on to something that you feel like you should be, like, maybe it's even like, I should be over this. Maybe it's, you know what, let it be what it is. Maybe you should be over it. It's okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
You don't need to torture yourself over what you think you should be feeling.
Exactly. 100%.
All right. Writer bro, how can I use the 6 planets in the 12th house to my 12th to my advantage? Sometimes it's very othering. Woo! All right, let's see. Right? Shadow work. King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is he's the older dude at the festival who's telling stories around the fire, and he's like, you know, everybody's chasing around all these things, right? You know, 12th house energy is very much like, I've done the shadow work, I know what it's like. And I think a lot of planets in the 12th house, you know, you focus so much on all of that, you don't recognize that because there's been that focus, you've processed a lot more than maybe some people have processed there in the shadows. And it's hard to show people because it's dark stuff and not everybody wants to hear it, right? So, you know, it's okay to actually just be quiet and listen, I think. And that's maybe the one of the better natures of this energy. And I love that how there's a wolf here, which is like, I tribe protect, right? I protect my tribe by listening and holding space because I know I don't need to flail.
Yeah, I bet the king has all the peaches. Freaking Lord.
Everyone's going to see the king in the forest and like bring them their peaches and beer.
So I got the Page of Earth for you, which is basically the Knight of Pentacles. And especially in reverse, when he comes in reverse with the King of Pentacles being upright, that is confirming it is not this, you should not be out there doing all this action, right? That this is not necessary. What is necessary is for that time out. It is to sit back and allow yourself to absorb what you've actually, the shadow work that you've done and things like that. It is not really time for you to go crazy. And if you're thinking right now, I should be doing these things, allow yourself to relax. Just allow yourself to relax.
Yeah. Okay, Muse and Spirit. I need a card to explain why I'm feeling so much movement. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Why the movement? We're going to lose time pretty soon, but not quite yet. Another Pentacle, Page of Pentacles. So Page of Pentacles, it's the messenger. So, you know, it's trying to say like you're feeling more movement because you're attracting more things to yourself. You're actually in this new phase, and maybe you haven't had time to really recognize, you know, we're in a pandemic, if you haven't noticed. So there's a lot of there's a lot of ways that we've felt like, well, I can't do this thing until all this stuff is over. But the abundance is still pouring in. The universe is still really working its magic. And some of us are really still getting the things we asked for last year, right? And so receiving that message and recognizing that these things are still happening and it's okay to feel joy may feel counterintuitive. And that might be why it feels like a lot of movement.
So I got the Magician. So right now, I mean, if you're feeling a lot, the question was, why am I feeling so much movement in my power, right? Was that the question?
Yeah, why am I feeling so much movement right now?
Yeah, so I mean, the Magician card comes into play for you because maybe around this time, this is one of your very magical times. You know, around this time, maybe, especially with the Page of Pentacles, maybe take in what's going on in the earth. Maybe check in with that wheel of the year. Maybe check in with yourself and say, okay, maybe this is my creation time. Maybe this is when I create my magic, you know?
Yeah, let's look at your chart, sister.
Yeah.
Send me a message. All right, we got 2 more and we got 1:10. So,
Okay.
Heidi, love a general card, and then Amber, you're last. Let's do this. Lightning round. We love you. 8 of Cups. Heidi, general card, feeling confused. Listen, you have all the feelings and you're right where you need to be. You're walking away. Look at, she's doing a burning ritual. So she is, you know, you're on that path of like release and, you know, allow those things to leave now that you've disinvited them.
Yes. And I got your Page of Fire, so your Knight of Wands. And what he's saying is, hey, don't beat yourself up too much, number 1. And number 2, yes, take that action by taking no action, which is kind of walking away. just allowing yourself to turn away.
Surrender.
Yes, thank you.
And Amber asked for a general card, so let's make this the collective card, and we're gonna do quick. We got 15 seconds. All right, Temperance. Listen, not too much, not too little, just right. Relax.
5 of Wands, which is 5 of fire. Not too much, not too little, just right. Relax.